what if a virtual world had a life of its own? I mean, really had a life of its own. That's the huge question at the heart of AGW Network, a project building the infrastructure for what they call autonomous worlds. So in this explainer, we're going to break it all down, the tech, the token, and what the future might hold for this seriously ambitious project. All right, let's dive in. So let's start with that big idea. Just imagine a digital world that doesn't just sit there waiting for you to log in. Picture a world that actually lives, breathes, and evolves all on its own, driven by AI that makes its own calls. I mean, what would a world like that even look like? This idea? Well, it's the foundation for the entire project. We're not just talking about building another game here. This is about creating living ecosystems. So what exactly is an autonomous world? The easiest way to think about it is like The Sims on steroids. Seriously, it's a virtual world that never, ever sleeps. It's a persistent, programmable space where AI agents and humans exist together. And these aren't your typical NPCs with canned responses. No, they're active participants in a digital economy, a digital society that's running 24/7.
Okay, so to build something this complex, you're going to need a seriously powerful engine, and that's exactly where AWE Network comes in.
AWE stands for Autonomous Worlds Engine, and it's the core infrastructure for creating these living digital worlds. Now, if you've been in the crypto space for a while, the name STP Network might ring a bell. That's because AWE is basically the next evolution of that project. They rebranded back in 2025, did a token swap, and jumped headfirst into this new vision.
So how does this engine actually work? Well, it's designed to do 4 things incredibly well. First, it can scale to handle thousands of AI interactions at the same time. Second, it manages all those different tasks happening in parallel. Third, it's optimized for GPUs, which, is absolutely crucial for AI. And last but not least, it integrates a real on-chain economy. That's the technical magic that really makes these worlds tick. And look, this isn't just some theory on a white paper. On their main platform, world.fund, they're already running simulations with up to 1,000 AI agents at the same time. Think about that. That's 1,000 digital minds, all interacting, all shaping their world in real time.
Of course, any blockchain ecosystem needs an economic heart, right? For AWE, that's the AWE token. It's used for pretty much everything. We're talking community governance and voting, paying for the computing power to run all those AI agents, and it's also how you incentivize creators and handle all the transactions happening inside these worlds.
Okay, so that's the vision and the tech. But what does the AWE ecosystem actually look like right now? Let's check out the numbers. All right, so as of early 2026, AWE is what you'd call a mid-sized player in the crypto space. The token price is hanging out in the single-digit cents, with the market cap in the tens of millions. But you know what's really interesting? The number of holders. We're talking tens of thousands. That points to a real, genuinely engaged community. And man, have they been busy. After that rebrand in 2025, they launched the engine, they expanded their World Fund platform, and they managed to get listed on major exchanges like Binance and Coinbase. This is definitely not a project that's just sitting on its hands. And get this, people are actually using it. Back in September 2025, the network was seeing something like 8,600 daily active users and nearly 2 million transactions in just 1 month. Plus, over 600,000 AOE tokens were spent inside the world. This is a real, living, breathing ecosystem in action. So, with all that in mind, what's the verdict here? Is this the next big breakthrough, or is it more of a fascinating but ultimately niche experiment? Let's take a look at the bigger picture.
Okay, the vision is undeniably huge, a whole new frontier for how AI and blockchain interact. But the challenges? They're just as real. The whole AI plus crypto space is getting super crowded. User adoption is still in its very early days, and you've got all the usual market volatility. It's a classic high-risk, high-reward situation.
So, where does AWE go from here? You can really see 3 different paths. In the best-case scenario, it becomes the go-to standard for building these autonomous worlds. Or it could just remain a stable but kind of niche experimental project. And of course, there's the chance it just fails to get traction and fades away. The path forward really isn't set in stone.
So that leaves us with the big question. Are we looking at the future of digital existence, or is this just a passing simulation? The answer really depends on whether AWE can convince creators and users to actually build a world that has a life of its own. What do you think?